Hey guys, this is Miss Arlequin, and today I wanted to talk to you guys about providing effective and constructive feedback to classmates. First off, I want to make it clear that our classroom needs to be a place where we can give each other feedback in an encouraging and safe way. So we really want to feel like everybody in the classroom, teacher, and our fellow students are there to really help us and to be positive about our work, and any recommendations or criticism that's given is only meant to help the other person. It's not meant to make them feel bad. It's not meant to make them feel stupid. You're really looking to help everybody produce the best work that they can. So feedback, again, is meant to be helpful. And we also have to remember that we can't be too sensitive about it. Nobody is perfect. And just because you make a mistake and somebody is trying to help you correct it doesn't mean that you're stupid or you're no good or that your overall work isn't good. Even Miss Arlequin makes mistakes. Already this year, you've seen some typos that I'll make on the computer, and sometimes I might forget to put a slide in, things like that. Again, I'm not perfect. And anybody that corrects me, I know they're only trying to help me so that I can make my work be the best that it can be. And so I'm not going to let it hurt my feelings, because I also know what I'm good at, and I have a lot of self-esteem and pride in my abilities. Also confidence in my abilities. Now, what you really want to know is that feedback can't be all negative. So you really want to try to always use the sandwich feedback technique. And in the sandwich feedback technique, you always start with praise, right? Like the top of a hamburger bun. And then you go into a little bit of criticism, but that has to be phrased in a positive, encouraging way, not, ugh, you're so stupid, you spelled this wrong. And then you always want to follow up criticism with another thing that you can praise. And that's the bottom of the hamburger bun. So it's basically like two compliments and a criticism in between. You don't give the two compliments first and then the criticism. You don't start with the criticism and then end with the two compliments. It's almost like you are sandwiching the criticism in between two compliments. And you might wonder, well, what's the difference? It's a subtle difference. Starting off negative could make somebody tune out and not want to hear anything else you say. And then also starting with all the positives, which makes a person feel good, but then you're slamming them with a negative, and it leaves that lasting impression. The last thing they remember is going to be that negative comment. So you want to start out good, make someone feel really good about their work. Then you hit them with what they can work on, so the recommendation. But then you don't leave them with that negative vibe. You give them another positive. So they're left overall feeling good about their work. So feedback also, besides having a lot of positives to it, it can't be general praise with no specific details. So just telling somebody, good work, well done, awesome job, isn't the most helpful type of feedback. It does make people feel good, but you really want to look to target specific details, even if it's all positives. What exactly did they do well, so they can remember their strengths and try to apply it to their next assignment. Effective feedback should praise, it should recommend, it should give specific examples. So what exactly was really well done? What exactly could they improve in? Use positive language even when pointing out mistakes, and to show that you're also applying deep thought and analysis, you want to add on to the work that the person did. So don't just tell them you need more evidence, add on by giving them the specific evidence that they could include to make their work better. Because if they knew what the stronger evidence was, maybe they would have put it into the original. So you adding on is giving them a little bit of a help. Let's look at some examples of student feedback and talk a little bit about what makes this effective feedback or feedback that could use improvement. When we look here at the first post-it note, we see that it says needs stronger evidence. And right off the bat, we know that this is a recommendation. However, it's not very specific. So again, I'm going to refer to the last slide where I said you can add on. If the evidence needs to be stronger, give this student an example of stronger evidence they could have used. The second post-it note, we see the word pride also shows that the other June is being bossy and wants June to do things for her entertainment. All right, so here what we have is we have feedback that is giving a recommendation and adding on to what the student had written. Clearly, in the student's response, they had only very generally talked about what the word pride means, and the student is telling them how they could have given more specific details, how they could have elaborated on their explanation. So this is a very, very well done piece of feedback. In the third one, it says add more evidence, chocolate evidence, which is really good because they're using the terminology that Miss Arlequin taught in class. You could relate to another sentence. And so here we have a recommendation, but once again, I'm going to point out how you could add on. If they could relate it to another sentence, what other sentence should they have related it to? Here we have nice job, but you need stronger or more text evidence. Again, this is another example of a student who could have added on to this criticism. What is the stronger evidence that the original student could have used? Again, we see the same thing in this post-it note. Great job needs more stronger evidence. A positive is that they use Miss Arlequin's terminology of chocolate bar. So the student used chocolate bar evidence, and this student is basically implying that they need to try to use peanut butter cup evidence. And in this final one, we see a very, very general comment. Good, very good. What's good about it? What's very good about it? Give a specific example and try to add on with your own thinking. All right, so I hope that this helps a little bit as we move forward in the school year, and we're going to be using lots of peer feedback, teacher feedback, and so we really want to get in the habit of giving effective feedback.